India has crossed the $4 trillion mark. The path to $5 trillion is already mapped out, and the blueprint for a $10 trillion economy is actively being drafted. But beneath this rapid expansion lies a heavy, invisible tax. It's a barrier known as economic friction, and it quietly drains efficiency across the supply chain. This chart shows how much of a country's GDP is consumed simply by moving goods around. For years, India's logistics costs hovered between 14 and 15% of its entire GDP, far above the global average. That gap represents billions of dollars in lost margin. You can see this friction in the physical world. Cargo ships were waiting up to 93 hours just to unload and reload. Inside the country, freight trains crawled to a halt, forced to wait while priority passenger lines cleared the tracks ahead of them. And the pressure is compounding. By 2030, 600 million people will live in India's cities. Without intervention, the sheer volume of human and industrial traffic would completely gridlock the nation's infrastructure. Relying on a massive workforce is no longer enough to compete with manufacturing heavyweights like China. To survive and scale, India has to physically engineer this friction out of its system. To entangle the rail network, India is building dedicated freight corridors. These are entirely separate, parallel rail lines built specifically for heavy cargo, pulling millions of tons of freight off the congested passenger tracks. Removing that bottleneck cuts freight transit times across the country down from 3 days to just a day and a half. Where the rails meet the ocean, the Sagarmala project takes over. This massive port modernization initiative has already cut ship turnaround times nearly in half, bringing them down to under 49 hours. And for the last mile, the Bharat initiative is expanding the national high-speed road network. In just over a decade, India has pushed its total highway length past 146,000 kilometers. By synchronizing these massive road, rail, and maritime networks, the national logistics cost is being pushed down toward 12%. Infrastructure is actively being turned into a weapon for global export competitiveness. Moving goods is only half the equation. Moving billions of people inefficiently does exactly the same economic damage as stalled freight. To compress the distance between major financial and industrial zones, the Mumbai-Ahmedabad high-speed rail corridor uses Japanese Shinkansen technology to collapse what is normally an 8-hour journey into roughly 2 hours. Across the rest of the country, legacy railways are getting a massive upgrade with the rapid rollout of the Vande Bharat series, domestically built semi-high-speed trains designed to connect Tier 2 cities with economic centers faster than ever before. Inside the cities themselves, the shift is even more aggressive. In 2014, only 5 Indian cities had operational metro networks. Today, that number has surged to 23. And when the ground is full, they look to the sky. Because legacy hubs like Delhi's Indira Gandhi International Airport are choking under severe passenger congestion, entirely new mega airports like Noida and Navi Mumbai are being built from the ground up as release valves. Moving millions of people quickly is a strict economic requirement to ensure that an incoming wave of 600 new urbanites accelerates the economy rather than crashing it. So where does all this high-speed connectivity actually lead? The answer lies in purpose-built destinations designed from the start to operate without friction. Take Dhalera Smart City in Gujarat. It's a massive manufacturing hub being constructed completely from scratch. All utilities, from power grids to drainage, are built underground, and bureaucratic tape has been replaced by a single-window clearance system for businesses. Then there is Gift City, operating as the financial counterpart to Dhalera. It is designed to pull international capital into India. It offers world-class commercial infrastructure for global banks and tech firms without the usual regulatory drag. This physical construction is being matched by a digital one. Global tech giants have already committed over $80 billion to build massive data centers across India, while Microsoft is scaling up training programs to prepare 20 million workers for the AI-driven jobs these centers will support. These hubs represent a dual-track strategy. India is systematically constructing the heavy industrial homes for physical manufacturing, alongside the high-speed server halls that anchor its growing digital economy. Projecting this roadmap to 2030, geographical barriers are bypassed. The 14-kilometer Zojila tunnel cuts a Himalayan pass to 15 minutes. The 359-meter Chenab Bridge locks Kashmir into the railway grid. The Ken-Betwa link transfers surplus water, eliminating agricultural friction. Running through 3 major states, a 2,800-kilometer pipeline takes the burden of liquid petroleum gas off the highways, making transport faster, cheaper, and vastly safer. These mega projects aren't just isolated engineering feats, they are a unified, interlocking system. By systematically erasing the hidden cost of friction, they provide the physical foundation required to support the massive economic scale of a 10 trillion future.